Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for stopping by. And in this week's video, if you watch the videos from last week coming up, we're still talking about this express entry and how you can move to Canada. And this week I am here to tell you how you can improve your points using, if you're going in the express entry. And it's not just about improving the points, because I know you've heard this a lot of time, oh, do this, do that, but I'm going to include some tips that you can use to really help you if you're really interested in moving to Canada, by all means. Okay. Let's get into this video. In last week's video, I did two videos. One, Canada want people, and the other one, does Canada want you? If you haven't seen those videos, pause this video, go and catch up, and come back to this one, because you need to understand all of that before you get to this point. Okay? Alright, so for this week's video, you would have done your homework and you would have checked your express entry score from the videos that I posted last week, right? Now you know your express entry score. The question is, how do you improve it? And this is what I'm going to tell you this week, how to improve it. I'm not just going to tell you the regular ways where people say, oh, do this. I'm going to actually include tips on real ways how you can improve it, because I know the funds are tight, but you want this dream. So we have to make it possible, right? One of the first ways how you can improve your CRS score is by increasing or improving your language score. Yes, the language score. If you're in the Caribbean or most other countries, IELTS, when I say IELTS, I mean IELTS. That is the language test that is common to a lot of third world countries. However, if you did not know, there's another language test known as the CELPIP. CELPIP, yes. This language test is actually, I've heard by persons who have done both. I did IELTS because that was the one that was common in my country. They did not have CELPIP. So maybe you're in Jamaica or Barbados and your country only have CELPIP. This is for persons, if you have a visa, look up in America on places where you can go and do CELPIP instead of IELTS. So maybe you're planning a trip soon. Plan to do your language tests in that foreign country that has CELPIP. I say this because CELPIP is often said by persons who have done both that it is easier than IELTS. So you want to improve your score, improve your language test. And since CELPIP is the easier test, then honey, it's a no-brainer. It's better to do the test that will get you more points. However, if you cannot get to do CELPIP, that's fine, do the IELTS, but practice. Nothing beats practice. Practice and get the perfect grades. Once you get the perfect grades, which are normally above 8.777, 8 for listening, 7.7 for the rest, writing, reading, you should be getting maximum points for English. Once you topped out your English score, the next part to attack is your education. Your education gives you points depending on your level of education. If you have a bachelor's already, then maybe you decide, okay, I cannot afford to do a master's, but I can afford to do a certification, right? Well, you can do a certification to help improve your points. If you go online, there are so many certifications in Canada that's being offered. You can try to see if you can do one of those certifications from the comfort of your home country to help improve your points. This will give you additional points for your education. Another way, so you can improve your points with education by one, you can study in your home country, or you can decide to study in Canada. Studying in Canada also, education, whether it's a certificate or a master's program or whatever program it is, you get points. But when you study in Canada, you're at an advantage because you get more points for studying in Canada. You get a point that is I think it's labeled study in Canada, right? So once you study in Canada, you get some additional points. However, if you should have done the same masters in your home country, you would only get the 30 points for the masters. That's it. You would not get additional points for studying in Canada. But let's say you maybe do not have a bachelor's. That's okay. You can do another certification. You still get points. Let's say, because many persons reach out to me, let's say you have a high school diploma, you have no CXC but you did high school. Go to your high school, try to find your high school certification. That is very important. You need a certification to show that you actually graduated or you did high school, at least that. If you have that, then now you can find a certification program for a skill, because more than likely maybe over the years you may have been a housekeeper, you may have skill in electrical field, whatever it is. Get a certification to prove that you are certified to do this trade. Once you have that, then you can use that now to get certification of qualification in Canada. And to get that, you can apply to schools in different provinces that offer certificates in, there are so many different skills, you name it, right? And after getting this certification from a school in Canada, because you can prove to IRCC that, hey, you've been working as a nail tech or you've been working as a plumber over the years, then you can get into the education system in Canada. So it depends on where you fall in that wide spectrum of education. So remember, education is not only for people who have a bachelor's and you want to improve your score. You also can get points on improving your score locally and abroad from skill work, from skill trade certifications. These also falls on the express entry. Just that whether if you have a bachelor's degree or you have an associate degree, then you would fall on the federal skilled worker program. But let's say you only did high school, no CXC, but you have certification in your skill, because their skill count, it matters, the work of your hands, it matters, then you would fall on FST, federal skill trade, and you get points there. That category is for you. So figure out, if you watch the previous video, like I mentioned, you would see which one you fall under and improve your education based on that. But at the end of the day, whichever program you fall under, whether it is federal skilled trade or federal skilled worker, you have to ensure that you have your best language score for the express entry overall. Okay, so when I say band 7 for the federal skilled worker program, it simply means that for your writing, reading, listening and speaking, the average should be 7. So you can't get 6.5 in one and then you get 5, 7 and 8 and then you average it and it's less than 7. In that case, you would not be qualified for federal skilled worker program. The average minimum band must be 7, and for the federal trade program, your average minimum band must be 6. So maybe your language or English is not the best. They know, but they are willing to say, okay, you do not need to reach the same level as someone who has a bachelor's, because at the end of the day, God gives all of us different gifts. All of us have different gifts. Some of us are more intellectual than others, meaning some of us are way better with our hands when it comes to practical things. So there's a hope. you can study to ensure that you get a band 6 or above if you're a federal trade person, if you are someone who works with your hands. Another way now how to improve your score is getting a job offer. So for this one, many persons say, oh, go on LinkedIn or go on Indeed to get a job. Yes, you can go on these websites to try to see if you get a job, but one of the ways how, when you're on LinkedIn, here's a tip: when you're on LinkedIn, try to find employers who are multinational companies, and this is for persons with degrees. Look for employers who hire outside of Canada and the US. Those are the employers who are more likely to sponsor you. Those are the employers who have the money to spend for these LMIAs, right? And they need the talent, so they will pay. Also, when you're looking for these employers, the next thing that you want to do, whether you're someone who identify yourself as a part of the skilled section, the federal trade, well, you can also do this too. So now you're going to start looking at the provinces in Canada and look at the different provinces who are normally having job fair. So New Brunswick, every year they keep job fairs, right? And sometimes twice, sometimes 3, more than once per year. So whether you are a nurse, a teacher, a plumber, someone in agriculture, you name it, hairdresser, you name it, whatever skill it is that you do, they're always looking for people. And when they're keeping these job fairs, they always announce them ahead of time. So go on, example, New Brunswick government page, they have their own website, and look up when they're having their next job fairs. Try to stay tuned to these sites if you're someone looking for a job offer. Also, if you're looking for job offers, if you have done your research and done your work and you are now in the express entry, you will realize that after being in the express entry, you have access to Canada's job bank. Yes, Canada Job Bank. So these employers in Canada Job Banks, they are willing to hire outside, and they will post jobs on the job bank, and all you need to do is to keep applying, because once they pick up your resume and you are successful for an interview, they would have known that, hey, you are in the express entry pool, and you'd never know. So do your research and get into the express entry. You have access to the job bank, and with the job bank you get a unique job identifier number. So, but first you gotta be in the express entry. Keep abreast with the different provinces. Different provinces has different job fairs, especially the AIP provinces. AIP means Atlantic Immigration Provinces. They do have a lot of job fairs, so you want to keep on track and updated with these provinces. And each province has their own demand, just to put that there. So if you're in tech, you want to look at British Columbia, you want to focus there, or Ontario. If you're in nursing, then you can look everywhere. You don't have to be a registered nurse anymore to get more points in the express entry. Because of the new tier system, you can now be a nurse aide and get points for express entry. And a province like British Columbia is nominating people for PNP nomination if you have a nurse aide certificate from your home country and you apply for jobs on LinkedIn, Indeed, with a nurse aide, you will get an employer to sponsor you. So it depends on the field that you're in. If you're a teacher, different provinces, Saskatchewan has a pathway where they evaluate your teaching certificate and your years, and that's a smoother transition for you to come to Canada. It's not one size fits all. It depends on the category that you fall under to get your job offer. The next thing, how you can improve your points. So that's it for job offer. There are so many other ways, but those are the tips that you need to know if you're looking right now and actively looking to come to Canada. Those are the resources, the outlets, and then you go and do your further research. Because let's put this tip right here. I can come here and I can sit and I can tell you, oh, do this, do that. But if after watching this video you do not get up, go on Google, write down this information so that you're able to look for the right things, then it seems like you will go back to square one. It's like, well, you're wasting your time. So please do not waste your time. Please do not waste your time watching this video and then you don't do your homework and go and figure out, okay, which province you need to target based on where you fall. Please. You can improve your points by work experience. For some persons, some of you, you're probably just finishing high school. You have no work experience in no professional field. If that's your case, maybe you don't have a rich auntie or a rich uncle or anybody to help you, or a rich partner, a rich husband to help you to come to school in Canada. Well, this part is for you. For work experience, you need to try to find a certificate program. Like I said, Canada taking on the tier system, a nurse aid, and some other different certification programs that are skilled, right? You need to find a way to get into one of those easy career paths where at the end of the day, with the experience that you've gained from school, maybe the program isn't long, then you can start gaining work experience under a knock that you can, not knock, under the new tier system that you can use. Okay? And for persons who maybe you've graduated from university and you just started working and you're looking, okay, this is not it. I can't believe I went to university to study so hard and now come out and this money, and you made more money on maybe J1 program. This is not it. So now you're looking a way to come to Canada. Well, good luck, because now you can improve. Don't just give up your job, because the foreign work experience, they count. So when you reach 3 years of foreign work experience, you get maximum points. So stay in the job in the meantime while you figure things out, right? Work experience gives you more points. Foreign work experience, it adds value to your express entry and to your CRS score overall, because at the end of the day, remember, if you watch my previous video, I said everybody has to go into express entry. It doesn't matter, and every point counts because it's so competitive these days. So the other way how to gain work experience is if you get a job and you work in Canada. If you have work experience in Canada, then you'll get more points. Maybe you're a part of a company like KPMG, one of those big companies, Scotiabank, those companies that have branches in Canada. Well, maybe you know someone who knows someone who can get you a job at one of those branches in Canada. That counts. Maybe not even the job full time, maybe just an exchange program. It doesn't matter. The work experience, it counts. So however you can transition, that improves your points. Ooh, I think I forgot something. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it for the end and give you as a bonus. Cool. The next one is, and this is it, this is the end. I'm going to give you this next one, then give you the bonus. So the next last point how you can improve your points is PNP nomination. With PNP, you would have just won a ticket, the golden lottery ticket, because with PNP nomination you get 600 additional points towards your express entry application. So PNP nomination is basically, you are interested, let's say you're interested in coming to British Columbia, you're interested in living, working, starting a family and having a life here, and if that's your intentions, then you can look at their programs. Each province has its own different programs and criteria, and if you fall under one of their programs that they have here, then you can apply to the province to ask them to sponsor you. But like I said, each of them have different criterias, different things that they require. For example, in British Columbia, if you're a nurse aide and you have a valid job offer of being a nurse in the province, a nurse aide in the province, then you can apply for PNP nomination, and you should get it. Once you have the job offer, the language score, once you have the education certification to show all of that, you will get it. So each province requires different skills, and it depends on where you are in your career or which category you fall under. Look for the province that best suits you and require your labor, because each province has different labor strategies. So whichever one is best for you, then apply on check out their PNP pathway. You can research more about it and look up to find out how you can get nominated. There are some provinces that will give you PNP nomination even without having an express entry application. There are some provinces that you have to at least be in the express entry to get nomination, because in their eyes they are like, hey, we can give you a nomination, but if you do not qualify for express entry, then it simply makes no sense. Because like I always try to stress, the express entry is where everything has to go through. So getting PNP nomination will give you a total of 600 points. Yes. The bonus tip here is for language. Let's say you've listened to all of that and you say, Kayon, honestly, me not have it. I don't have that money to study in Canada to get that advantage. I don't have that money to pay for even a master's program or a certification here in Jamaica. I don't have it. This is my response to you. I did do a video on ways how you can get money to come to Canada, and I did mention that you can get loans. Loans can help you, but let's be frank, some persons, they don't qualify for loans because maybe you don't have the asset to show, right? But this is your bonus tip. If it's something you really want, another way how to improve your score is with the same language is learning French. That it is hard. That's why I leave it for last. It is not easy to learn a new language, but I am of the belief that if you really want something, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. I believe UWI offers a way how you can learn French, so you could enroll in that program and go and learn French, whether it takes 6 months, every day, watch YouTube in French, practice it daily with doing that. And if you can learn it to do the test, go on Amazon. Everyone has access to Amazon. That extra KFC money that you'd normally use to buy KFC, use it to buy the book for the French test. Sit and learn it, practice the tests, because the tests for even cell paper, as they're in a specific format, whether English or French, they're in a specific format. If you can practice it and understand what you're looking for in the format and how to pass the test, that's 50 additional points. So that even take you to a higher level. So that's my bonus tip. If you don't have the money, if you don't want to do school, but you're willing, you want to come to Canada, learn French. And when you have French, here is another tip. You're more eligible for other provinces, such as the famous Quebec. Quebec is separate and apart from the express entry. They have their own platform, but with Quebec, you have to speak French. And if you're able to speak French and English, you are at an advantage for the Quebec pathway. Especially if you're an electrical engineer also too, or a nurse, they need those type of professions. So if you can learn French and you already maybe have your master's or your bachelor's, that's 50 additional points. that will help you improve your CRS score for express entry. Right there. And another tip to add to that I did not mention before, if you have a partner, let them do as and improve your language score. Their education, you get points from their education too. You don't have to be married. It doesn't matter if you're married or it's common law. Having a partner, it helps to improve your points. When you add them to say they'll be coming to Canada with you, you get a fraction of their points towards your application. When you then say one hand can't clap, yeah, so yeah, clap. Get somebody to help you if you have a partner. Don't be single and then no. So that's it. I just gave you all the little tips on how you can improve your CRS score. All the best to you on your journey, and Canada is not impossible. You just have to be strategic. You have to plan wisely. Know your pocket, because nothing about immigration is free. It is not free, and it can be expensive, but one size doesn't fit all, and there's a pathway for everybody. So all the best to you on your journey. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end, and if you haven't subscribed, just check and make sure that you're subscribed. Hit that subscription button, hit that like button, leave a comment so I know that you're here. Thank you so much for watching. All the best for 2023. All the best. Bye.